So you've got some guppies, the population has exploded, and now you have too many of them. Me too. In this video, we're going to talk about controlling populations of guppies and other live bearers. Live bearers are fish that rather than reproducing by laying eggs, the females give birth to free-swimming live baby fish. These fry are usually tiny, but unlike freshly hatched wrigglers from eggs, they are developed enough to swim around the tank. Because of this, live-bearing fish such as guppies, endlers, swordtails, mollies, and platies can reproduce easily and overrun a tank. If we're being realistic, there's only two ways to control the guppy population in your tank. Either by getting a larger fish that can eat some of the fry, or giving away and selling some of the fish. The first thing to understand is, live bearing and egg laying are both reproductive strategies, and in the wild, fish produce hundreds to thousands of offspring at a time because the chances of them making it to adulthood is usually very small, about less than 1%. Only the fittest will survive, and the ones fit for reproduction are the ones that were able to successfully evade predation, found enough food, and were able to find a mate. Those are generally the fastest, sharpest, and best fish that will carry on their genetics to the next generation. However, in an aquarium environment, we don't really have survival of the fittest because there's generally no predation. The likelihood of fish fry growing and developing are way higher inside of my aquarium than they are in the wild. This can often lead to issues such as inbreeding and physical body defects as the fish develop and grow. Problems like bent spines or conjoined fish. It's not good for those traits to carry on to the next generation because in the wild, they probably would have gotten eaten before reaching sexual maturity. So, option 1. Sell or give away some of your fish to friends, other hobbyists, Facebook Marketplace, or your local fish store. It's a great way to share the hobby and you might even get some store credit. However, I'm not doing that. So option 2, get a predator fish that is compatible with your tank that can help eat some of the baby fish. I have this 20-gallon long that is overrun with guppies. At first, my centerpiece fish were Apistogramma cockatoides, dwarf cichlids, and I never had this problem with the overpopulation of guppies. Now that my Apistogramma dwarf cichlids have passed, I have a population boom. So I got some new fish. These are a pair of dwarf gourami. They're the perfect centerpiece fish for a 20-gallon long aquarium. They get along great together, and they have a semi-aggressive temperament, so they'll eat some of the baby fish fry. I got them to abide by the general rule of thumb of if it fits in a fish's mouth, it's food. So these two will snack on any small fry, and any newly hatched young will have a much more difficult time making it to adulthood. And sure, I can try to limit my feeding and hope to starve off some of the baby fish fry or hope that the adult guppies eat their baby guppies, but it's a little tricky because I like feeding my tanks. I have snails and cherry shrimp populations that are relying on leftover uneaten fish food, so I might feed a little bit less often than usual to encourage my gourami to actively hunt, rather than relying on me. If you're liking this video so far, please subscribe. Dwarf gourami are great for my tank, but they might not be great for your tank. We need to consider tank size when selecting a fish for population control. If you have a 55-gallon aquarium filled with guppies, adding a single dwarf gourami is not going to have a sizable impact. But adding a single angelfish definitely will, as they're faster and way more aggressive. Always get a predator fish that is appropriate for your tank size. Here are some beginner-friendly recommendations. If you have a 10-gallon, get a betta fish. It might be hit or miss, but I would start there. Males will be more aggressive than the females generally, however, there's always the chance that you're going to get a peaceful betta fish. For 20 gallons, bettas can also be an option, but you can also do what I did, which is get a dwarf gourami or a honey gourami. You can also open up to dwarf cichlids such as Apistogramma or Bolivian rams, which are way more aggressive and better hunters. Just note that they might not be the most shrimp-safe fish. In the 30 to 40-gallon tank range, more cichlids are available to you, such as the blue acara or cribensis cichlids, otherwise known as rainbow cribs. Just be aware that cichlids can dig into substrates, so be careful when adding them to Walstad method tanks or tanks with a dirt substrate. Pearl gouramis are also a really good option here if you're trying to avoid cichlids. In 55-gallon tanks or larger, angelfish are your best bet. They're hardy, they don't really dig even though they're cichlids, and they're super aggressive and will eat the guppies for sure. At this point, with these size tanks and larger, pretty much any larger fish will help with your problem. This list is not exhaustive, these are just my beginner-friendly recommendations. Remember, if it fits in a fish's mouth, it's food. Thanks so much for watching my video. Additional exclusive content can be found on my Patreon. If you'd like more frequent updates about my aquariums, I have an Instagram @FishTankTwink, and I also created a free Discord community where you can connect with other fish keepers and show off your tanks. All links are in the bio. But if you found this video helpful at all, the best way to show your support is by subscribing to my YouTube channel and leaving a like and comment on this video. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.